Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be a very just real time get ready with me with you guys, telling you guys about everything that's going on with me right now. Not exactly going to be in like a super cheerful, let's get ready together kind of mood because there's a lot going on right now. So I just want to be real and straight up with you guys and tell you guys what's going on. So I'm just gonna hold my hair back. And I wanted to tell you guys everything that's just went on the past couple of weeks. So I'm just gonna start by priming my eyes. Just gonna use the Urban Decay Primer Potion. So I think I told you guys last year that my best friend has been suffering from bone cancer. I'm just going to be straight up and tell you guys because I don't want to get into too much detail because I'm just going to make myself really upset. So I kind of just wanted to be straight to the point. Don't think I'm being unempathetic or anything. I just want to tell you guys so I can get it out. So last year, actually I think it was around the end of December 2019, early January 2020, she found out that she had a growth on her collarbone area here over to where her shoulder is, and it has progressed so much at this point where it has infected her lungs. And I don't really want to give too much information because I don't want to say anything too involved or personal, but basically the cancer progressed so rapidly over the past couple of weeks. She was slowly getting worse, over the past few months, but actually me and my friends didn't know how much it had progressed until this point. Okay, so I don't have my Wet n Wild powder in front of me, so I'm just going to use my Dior one because I love using this for every day anyway. So, she has been, so basically she's in the last stages of bone cancer at this point, which obviously means terminal. So, I've been talking to one of my friends a lot because I haven't been able to see my best friend since pre-COVID because I'm going to use the Barbie Malibu palette. I've just been loving this palette, so I just really want to do a chill, laid back look with this. So I'm just going to dip into the shade first. I'm just going to point to the shades, and if you guys want to know what the shades are, I'll just, tell you guys later. But so basically I haven't seen her since then. So the last time I actually had seen her was the week of St. Patrick's Day last March. And that was the last time I actually was able to see her. Because, she did want me to see her and try to see her at some point. And honestly, I was thinking about it so many times to try and see her before, it got way worse. But I know it was really rough and it was really hard not to see her, but I didn't know, even if I drove down there to see her and spent maybe a couple of hours with her outside wearing a mask, I didn't know if I just traveled to another state and seen her, if I had to come back and quarantine. It just wasn't I'm not going to say ideal, it just wasn't I wasn't able to do that because, like, first off, quarantining, obviously, it freaking sucks. I had to do it twice the past few months, and, you know, just having COVID and, you know, just dealing with, everything that has been going on because of it has really made me, like, realize how fragile everything is. And it just, like, sucks that I was not able to spend more time with her and do the things we wanted to do because of COVID. And I just feel like I'm not saying this in like a selfish way or anything, but like it sucked. So like we just had lost a lot of time together because nobody was really able to do what they really wanted to, and especially since, her body was not really in a state to be able to do that many things. um I couldn't really do it with her anyway. So there's that too. But like I still would have, if it wasn't because of COVID, I would have been there almost every week, maybe every other week, just to see her, spend as much time with her as I possibly could, watch shows and movies with her, and, just spend as much time as I can with her, just sitting and watching shows and making each other laugh. Like, that's all I wanted this past year, and we just couldn't do that because she, it wasn't safe for me because, you know, we don't know how it gets, there's still so many mysteries about like how it gets transferred and everything. Like they keep on finding out more and more every day, but I didn't want to risk like going and spending time with her and then having to come back home and quarantining from my family for like a week or two just because I wanted to see one of my friends for a week or a couple days. Like I just couldn't risk that for me and my family. Like I don't want it to sound like I didn't, want that time with her, because of course I did. But I tried to like, FaceTime her as much as I could, and I kept on telling her like I really wish I could see you, and that's like the only thing that I want to do right now, but I just had to think about my family. And you know it was really really difficult to not see her this whole time. So I'm just going to use Let's Go Party as my defining shade. So it's gotten to the point where it got so bad that she had to be hospitalized, and now she has spent the past almost week in the hospital. So I actually was able to finally see her last week. I originally was going to wait until this coming weekend because this upcoming weekend is actually her birthday. And I really just wanted to go and spend time with her in the hospital on her birthday. But then me and my friend were talking, and my friend said, I think it's better if you go as soon as you can rather than later. And I think you guys can figure out why. I don't really want to say it. But it's not like I can't admit these things. It's just like if I do start talking about it more, I'm going to get really upset. So like I'm trying to like relay the information as general as possible so I don't get upset myself. So cuz I've, already been so upset this whole time. Like yeah. So anyway, all right, I'm getting hungry now. Okay. I've also been really nervous to do this video but like going through this process and just talking to you guys like really does help me. So now I'm going to take the shade Zuma Beach and put that on my outer corners. So yeah, it's been a really rough past couple weeks for me. So I was able to go see her on Thursday, and I'm not really going to give too many details about like really much of our visit, but it's just so crazy that that was the first time I actually saw her since before COVID. And that's what made it even harder because it's like, again, we had so much lost time. And I just didn't want to put her at risk by risking to see her, even though so many people were like, you should go see her, you should spend time with her. I'm like, I was kind of just, and it wasn't for selfish reasons at all. It was just strictly because I wanted to protect her and I wanted to protect my family. So, not that, I wasn't careless at some points. I mean, I think all of us have been careless at some points. Nobody's perfect during this whole time. It's really just, thinking like what's worth the risk and what's not. And I'm not saying it wasn't worth it, but I didn't want to end up seeing her and then like end up, getting my whole family sick. I would never be able to forgive myself if that's what happened, I mean, we don't know if it was gonna. When me and Josh had it, we were terrified that we weren't gonna just recover at home. Like I was so scared every day that I was gonna, have trouble breathing and have to go get sent to the hospital. Like that's how nervous and worried, and it just really makes you reevaluate everything. It's like that's why I just don't get people that don't understand it. I'm like, it makes no sense to me. I'm like, how can you not protect just your own family or your friends? Like, why? I mean, I think of it that way. It's like, why can't you just do something that protects your family? And I don't understand people's, craziness about it. I'm just like, da fuck. Like, da fuck, honestly. So, for my lid shade, I kind of wanted to use Shine On again. So I actually have used every shade in this palette at this point, but the shades get a little bit crumbly, and then they like, not really the mattes in this palette, but more so the shimmers. Like they are very pigmented, but they get so crumbly where they get like all over the palette if you try to like clear it. And like I'm not really like that anal about like kick up from a palette. It really doesn't bother me. But if it's like that much where like the pigment is literally getting scraped up into like, and it literally becomes like bits of shimmer, and then if you try to get it off, it like literally just gets all over the other shades, that's like when it's like, what? Like it's like getting into the other shades in the palette, and that's when it's just like it's like crumbly as hell. It's like kind of worse than the Melt Mary Jane palette. And a lot of people didn't like that. Like these still perform really well and they're really pigmented and the shimmers are really beautiful, but like I don't know, I just feel like Colourpop has kind of cheapened their formula a little bit. Because it's starting to become, I mean, again, they still perform beautifully. It's just, I don't know why they changed, like, something up again and just didn't keep a good thing, because their formula was solid for the past, like, year or two. Like, honestly, I loved their formula for the past year or two, and now I noticed, especially with this palette and with the new blush palette that I got, it's not really the same. Like, the Lizzie McGuire palette, solid. The Bambi palette, solid. That one does have way more kick up. The Lizzie McGuire palette, perfect. It doesn't really have any kick up. I'm like, they really need to still make their formulas like that palette, because that's the formula that is the best from them. But I guess like, because the two round, I think the formula is better in the round palettes as opposed to the square ones, because the Bambi one is a square one and so is this one. So I don't know, maybe they're just pressed differently when they put them in the square palettes as opposed to the circular pans. That might be a reason. Okay, so I went off on a tangent about makeup, of course. So, it just was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, because when I went to go visit her, the hospital's policy is that she could only have one visitor alone. You can't have anybody going with you, and you can only have one visitor per day. So initially I was supposed to go with my friend that I've been talking to this whole time, and we actually haven't talked for a while, and this kind of got us to reconnect with each other. And she initially was supposed to take me, and we were supposed to drive there together. And what she was going to do is, I was going to drive to her house, and then she was going to drive us to CT so we could see her. And since it really sucks that she couldn't go with me to see her with me, because I'm telling you, it was really damn hard for me to go by myself. It was I can't believe I did it, because I was so scared, and I was I don't know, what's gonna happen, but I was I knew if I didn't see her, I was gonna regret it. So, because again, I haven't seen her in a year, so it was really difficult. I was almost had a couple of panic attacks, but anyway, so my friend actually couldn't end up taking me because her job was making her work overtime that day, and she was supposed to see my best friend in the hospital a couple days before that, and they actually prevented her from seeing her because someone had actually went and seen her earlier that day, and I don't think Nora was made aware. So she ended up not being able to see her, even though she took off from work to drive there to see her that day. And when she had shown up to see her, they were like, "You're not allowed to see her. Someone had already seen her today." So since she had taken off that day, she couldn't go with me 2 days later to go together to see her. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. Don't worry about it. I was like, I'll just ask her friend, which is currently living with my best friend right now. He had just moved in a couple weeks before she was hospitalized. I was like, I'll just text him and I'll ask him if he can drop me off if he can pick me up from the Bridgeport ferry. So the way that I usually go to Connecticut, because for me, I don't love driving long distances. Honestly, the furthest I'll drive is 45 minutes. So, because, I'm nervous driving by myself to somewhere that, I've never really driven out of state by myself. So, I didn't really want to start now, especially since I already had so much anxiety that day just to see her. I didn't want to put more pressure on myself, and then I would have had to drive home. So, at night, when it's late, and I just didn't want to do that. So let me just grab my makeup sponge so I can keep on talking. Okay, so now I'm just going to prime my face. You guys know the products I always use, so I'm just going to show them. So, yeah, so she wasn't able to see her that day, so unfortunately she had to work the day that she was going to try and take me to go see her. And I was like, it's okay. I'll just have him pick me up. I was like, I haven't seen him in forever either. So I ended up having to drive to the ferry. Then I actually could leave my car there in the marina, because you either keep your car there all day, and it's $20 a day usually when it's off season. So I thought it was still off season, but apparently the season had already started for the summertime. So during the summertime, you don't actually, I think it is still off season until June. Maybe that was why. I forgot. I think in the winter time you don't have to pay for parking there, but as soon as the summer starts, then you have to pay for parking. Not that it's a big deal. I would have paid for parking anyway. So for my foundation, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Easy Drop. I have been just absolutely obsessed with this, and it's in the shade 1. I just freaking love it, so I wanted to use a lot of my other like go-to products that I've been using. And this product is just, it's so beautiful on the skin. I freaking love it. So this has just been my absolute go-to product. Like anytime I'm not working, this is my go-to. Like I wear it at least once or twice a week. Um, I think one day I actually wore it like 2 days in a row. That's how much I freaking love it. So anyway, it's been like my go-to over like my Colourpop tinted moisturizer. I love it. So so then I took the ferry, and initially I thought I was gonna miss it, but I actually got there with like 5 minutes to spare, so that was really nice because the next ferry I wasn't gonna be able to take wasn't gonna be till like an hour and a half after that. And you know, my friend told me like you need to be there like as soon as visiting hours start because you need to, I would be like more at ease if you go sooner rather than later, so we don't have another screw up like I did when I tried to see her. And I was like, yeah, okay, so I'll do that. And initially I thought I wasn't going to do makeup that day because I wasn't really sure if I had time to, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get really upset when I was with her. But then I just decided to do it because it just really helps me cope with, you know, really high stress things that I need to do. So I ended up doing my makeup, and I still ended up getting to the ferry on time. So my friend picked me up once I got in, and then I went to go see her, and I was so nervous. But we spent, you know, just a few hours together. Um, and it was really, really, really hard. But I am, you know, I am just glad that I just got to see her because if I didn't, I would have just been kicking myself. So, okay, and then for concealer, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. So, yeah, basically, if I'm not like super, I don't know if this is going to affect me, you know, filming after this week because like we don't really know at this point what's going to happen. So, but I do want to get up there again to see her again because apparently she's going to be moved to her home today, and that will make it much easier for people to see her that either haven't seen her yet or, you know, just want to spend, we all just want to spend time together with her like as much as possible. And at this point, since mostly all of us are fully vaccinated at this point, we can finally, you know, see each other and actually hang out safely again. So that's why for me, I am so extremely grateful that we are up to this point. And I just can't believe, you know, we've all made it this far. I know there have been so many people that haven't been as lucky, but honestly, we've been extremely lucky, and I am extremely grateful. And I just can't believe that, you know, we're able to see my sister. So my sister actually came to finally see us last Tuesday. So she's been here a week already from today because today is Tuesday. So it's been a week since she's actually been here. And we haven't seen her since before pre-COVID as well. We haven't seen her since my mom's birthday last March, last year in 2020. So I'm pretty sure you guys are aware that my sister had to move out of the city with her boyfriend to California because everything in NYC was shutting down then. So they obviously couldn't work. They couldn't really stay in the apartment that they were in because it was just extremely, extremely expensive. I mean, if you guys know New York, you know how freaking expensive it is to live in New York City. So they had to move, and they have been living in my sister's boyfriend's parents' guest house for the past year in California because if they had come here, there would have just been, you know, we would have all been on top of each other. It just wouldn't have been a great, situation because I'm just going to use my Becca hydrating powder because we only have we do have this space, like it could work, but we only have 3 bathrooms with a shower. So like my brother uses the upstairs bathroom, I use this one here, which it wouldn't be a problem if like me and my sister were sharing a bathroom. Like that wouldn't have been a huge deal. Okay, so now I finally worked through the powder on top here. So now I can finally take the seal off so we can start using the powder that's underneath. Damn, that just got everywhere. Yeah. So anyway, so me and my sister obviously share one because we shared one since we were little, and that was our bathroom, growing up. And then me and my mom and my dad share a bathroom, obviously, and then my brother has the bathroom upstairs. So like our bathrooms can't really handle more than like the 5 people it was initially for that lived here growing up. So like it wouldn't have really been a comfortable situation for her boyfriend to be here because we just really truly don't have the space. It wouldn't be that they couldn't have their own room, but it just like we would have all been on top of each other like all the time. It just wasn't really this house can't really handle 6 people. It can only handle 5. So I'm just going to use my Dior powder. So since we were all fully vaccinated at this point, and again, this, like my family and I have just kept on lucking out this whole time because originally for the COVID vaccines, doctors had said that if you had COVID, like me and Josh, and actually my brother, even though he was asymptomatic, would have to wait 90 days in order to get vaccinated. But then like my mom had said, like a couple of weeks after me and Josh had gotten over COVID, that you could actually still get vaccinated. And a new study had come out basically saying that you don't have to wait the 90 days if you've had COVID. You only have to wait the 2 weeks that you have to quarantine when you have it, and then you can actually get vaccinated right after that. So we really lucked out because even though me, Josh, and Cameron couldn't reinfect anyone after we had COVID, because they also came out with a new study that if you had COVID, you have a 3 to 4 month immunity, meaning that you can't get it again in that time frame after you have had it, and you also can't get it to reinfect anyone, because obviously if you get it again, you could be highly contagious and infect somebody. So that was such a relief, so we didn't have to worry. But at the same time, we also didn't have to worry too much about getting vaccinated then, because since, again, me and Josh and Cameron all had it, we didn't have to really worry about getting my mom or my dad or my sister sick because we had already had it. So, but basically, of course, we all still got vaccinated anyway, and now we can finally, see each other and, spend time with her. So it just has been very hard for me to, give my time to, my best friend and to my sister and to my boyfriend and to my family and to work. It's just been a lot. And, the week that I have to find out that Liz gets worse is when, at the same time that my sister is coming. So it was a lot. But at the same time, it has just made me so happy having her here and being able to spend time with her again, it really has helped me kind of get through this a little bit. So, yeah. But it's been really nice that she's been here. We went like to the mall the first day, that full day that she was here, and we went makeup shopping, and it was just like, it felt like surreal because I don't really have that many girlfriends, and honestly, I haven't really been able to do anything with anybody, obviously, for the past year. But you know, a lot of like our schedules have actually become busier. Because even though, you know, our lives had slowed down a little bit initially, we were still doing a whole lot. So, I actually feel like I have less time to do everything and spend with everyone than I did before. So, yeah. So I'm just going to, so yeah, it really has been so nice having her here. Even though, you know, there's still some things that upsets her about, you know, me and, you know, my brother and stuff, it still has been so, it's just been so weird having her here because we haven't seen her in so long. And like when she came home last week, like me and mom just lost it when we were hugging her, and we were just crying, and we were like, oh my God, I can't believe how long it's been. And we were just like, it's been really hard because, you know, I've been crying a lot the past 2 weeks, and it's just like, me and my sister are going through a pretty stressful time right now because I have all of that going on that I told you, and then my sister is actually, initially she came here because she had to go through all of the stuff that I told you that me and my mom had to move out for her I can't believe it's almost been a year since this happen. Before I tell you guys what I was going to say, I want to use my Colourpop Act Natural Volumizing Defining Mascara. I have been obsessed with this mascara. I think that this is the best thing that I've gotten from Colourpop lately. Because I do love the Barbie palette, but again, it's not like the same formula that I'm used to. I mean, it still performs great, and I really love how this look turned out, but this mascara, I don't know what it is about it, but I literally just don't want to use any other mascara when, like, I'm doing, like, everyday looks. I just really love this mascara. I don't know what it is about it. I just think it makes my lashes look so nice, and it's very lengthening. Even though I feel like my primer was a little bit dry today. But it gives my lashes such a nice curl and length. I just love it. I think that's what I love most about mascaras is length and curl. I don't really care about volume too much, but I do like when they're really long. So yeah, I've just been freaking obsessed with this one. So yeah, it's been really nice having her here. I did put like, what else did I want to talk about? I did put like a little list of what I wanted to talk about. And then also, so again, like I said, I don't have that many girlfriends to hang out with. Basically, the only people I hang out with is Josh, my family, or one of my other girlfriends that used to work at Lucky. But she actually is moving, or had already moved, and she actually left like last week, but I had to actually spend time with her last week before she had moved because I was actually overdue to get my nails done anyway. So she's the one that I get my nails done with all the time. So I had to squeeze her into basically everything that was already going on last week with my sister, and then seeing my best friend in the hospital. I also had to see her too, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, it all had to happen in 1 week. I was like, why is this all going on in 1 week? I'm like, couldn't I divide my time a little bit more rather than just having it all happen in 1 week? I was like, this is like crazy. So I saw her last Monday and we got our nails done and we went out to get a drink because I'm actually going out to eat and going to restaurants again. And it is so weird because, you know, they say if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. So, you know, my brother and my sister have been going out and eating too. So, my mom still refuses to go out and eat, but I've been going out to eat and so has my brother and sister. So, like, again, my sister's been going into the city to see her friends because, again, she did live in the city for the past couple of years, so she's been visiting her city friends. I'm going to use the shade Earthquake by Marc Jacobs. I kind of like using a brown liner daily lately rather than a nude one. I've just been liking how the brown looks a little bit more, especially with the colors in the Barbie palette. Initially, I was going to film 2 videos today, but I don't think I have the energy. I was going to film my favorites video, but I was like, honestly, I wasn't even in the mood to film it today. I just wanted to film a get ready with me because I haven't really sat down and talked to you guys in a while. So I was like, let me just film this. Because I really wanted to film it earlier in the week because, like, I didn't want to film it when, like, you know, I wasn't in the right mood or mindset to do it, because if I don't do it now, I feel like this is like a now or never video. So yeah, it sucks. So for my bronzer, I'm going to go into the Milani Dolce bronzer. Love this bronzer. This is like my everyday bronzer when I'm not working. Ever since I decluttered the Physicians Formula, I've just been using this bronzer so much. And I love it. It gives me, you know, a really nice light bronze, and you guys know I'm all about that life. So yeah. But my friend is actually coming back next week. I don't know, honestly, how my schedule is going to be looking next week. I mean, I do have my work schedule, but again, I don't know how many trips I am going to be making to CT at this point. I might even try and squeeze a trip into this weekend, maybe this Saturday. But again, I don't want to like run myself thin. Like, honestly, I really have had no time to really like relax, and I think that's why I've even had more anxiety, because even though I stayed home the past 2 days, I still have been kind of like not really relaxing because Samantha's here, and we've been really just dividing our time to spend time with her, and it's just been like exhausting for me too, because it doesn't really give me a chance to relax because we're, you know, spending time with her a lot. So for my blush, I'm going to go into the Colourpop Sugar Frosted Cheek Palette. I still don't know how I feel about this. I do really like the blushes, but honestly, I think I'm going to mix these 2 shades together because I haven't really used this darker one yet, and I don't know how pigmented it is. But I think I'm just going to use those 2. I just, like, get turned off by this palette because every time I swatch it, like, these 2 shades swatch like nothing. But when you put them on your face, they look really pretty. But I don't really like the highlighter in this palette, but the blushes are really pretty. But I don't know. And they are soft and they apply really nicely. But this palette, just, I don't know. I, again, like, feel like it's not the same quality that Colourpop used to be. Like, they're kind of upping their prices and making things not as good as they used to. Again, I like it, but the highlighter in here, it really is not that great. But the blushes are pretty, but I don't know. Like, every time I use them, like, it gets kick up, and they don't really feel buttery and soft, but they do, again, perform on the face. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on whether or not I'm actually going to be keeping this palette. I want to mention it in my favorites video before I decide, because I'm honestly thinking about selling this if I'm not really that crazy about it anymore, but we will see. Okay, and then for highlight, I don't know why my wrist started hurting. I wanted to use the Catrice highlighter, but I kind of want something, actually that would go really well. Do I want the Pixie or the Catrice? This one I pulled out because I haven't used it in a while, and honestly, this is the first highlighter that I'm pretty close to possibly hitting pan on since, like, I don't know when, because I haven't really panned too much of anything this year. But this has been sitting in front of me for days, so I think I'm just going to use this because I feel like it'll make me feel better if I actually use it finally. So I'm just going to use this. I mean, not that the shades aren't, like, very similar with this compared to the Catrice. These are pretty similar formulas and almost, like, very similar tones. And they're both, like, amazing formulas. But this one's, like, $15 more than the Catrice one. If you want, like, a highlighter like the Pixie, I would just go for the Catrice one, because the Catrice one's not even, like, $5. So I just wanted to use this one today, though, because if I use it, then I have used it, and then I don't have to use it again for a while. So looks so freaking pretty. Then I've actually been highlighting the bridge of my nose lately, and I really have been liking how it looks. I don't know why I never did this before, but I kind of like this strip of frost because it looks really pretty. You guys know I'm a highlighting fanatic. It's always my favorite part of makeup, so that looks super pretty. Okay, and then I'm just going to spray my face again. I'm getting pretty hungry, so I want to get out of the house. I don't know why I was spraying it like that and get to my boyfriend's because I haven't seen him in a couple days. So I'm just going to set my brows, and then I think I have my lipstick right in front of me. I think I'm just going to use a MAC lipstick because I haven't used a MAC lipstick in a while, and I'm just going to use my Colourpop Brow Boss Gel. I just wanted to say one more thing, though. So yeah, I saw my friend then, and then, like, she's coming back so we can actually get our nails done again together. Hopefully next week. I'm not really sure yet. I don't even know what's going to be happening next week because I'm actually working 4 days next week, which I'm already nervous about. Because I don't know if I'm going to need another day off because of everything that's going on with my best friend. So I do have 3 days off in a row next week, but I do have to work Sunday, Monday, and then Friday and Saturday. So I'm not really sure. So I just want to say one more thing before I do my lips. I'm sorry that I haven't done any lives or stories lately. I just haven't really been in the right mood to do them. And honestly, like, I don't really want to go through the process of trying to do a live and not having anybody show up anymore. Like, it's kind of, like, made me, like, not really want to do them too much, really, because, like, I don't really get enough engagement when I'm on, and then, like, the only time, like, I see someone trying to watch a live that I, did for 5 minutes, it's, like, after it's already over, then, like, 5 people will comment and be like, oh my god, were you live, or where did your live go? And I'm just like, I was live for, like, 10 minutes and nobody showed up. So, like, I really just haven't felt inspired to do them. And also because, I don't know, I just have had a lot going on, so I haven't really been able to set my time aside to do them. And also, since I was filming with the Barbie palette and the Clueless palette, I wanted to film a bunch of looks with those. I mean, I've only filmed 2 looks with each, and now I just did this one with the Barbie palette. But, like, I just wanted to try out new products and film those videos first before I, like, decided to do a story or a live. And now, since, like, everything has caught up with me, I haven't really had time to do them. So I didn't really want to do this as a live. I just wanted to do it as, like, a sit down, get ready with me and tell you guys everything that's going on, just so it's there. And, like, I didn't want somebody to feel like they missed out on, like, what I was talking about. So yeah, that's really it. I just haven't really felt like doing them lately, to be honest. Like, I'm like, ooh, I can do a story or I can do a live this day, and I'm just like, I don't know, I just haven't felt like doing it, because even when I do a story, like an Instagram story, which I do feel like more people see than my lives, it's just so stressful to do them because the clips only last for like 20 seconds, and then you have to, like, do it again, and then, like, Instagram glitches all the time, so, like, those clips, like, don't upload to your story, and then it's like, oh great, I wasted like 10 minutes trying to record this clip and it didn't even upload to my story because Instagram glitches like every 5 seconds, and then you feel so much pressure trying to rush your makeup because the clips only last 20 seconds on the hands-free, and I'm just like, I don't know, it's just like too stressful for me. And like, honestly, thinking about doing anything that causes me stress right now or anxiety, I just haven't wanted to do it because I can't up my stress level or anxiety right now because I feel like I'm about to crack. So that's why I've just been, you know, kind of trying to just like calm down and spend the time with my family and spend the time with my boyfriend, because my boyfriend has been really my support system and my rock right now, going through everything with my best friend, and he really has been making it easier. I'm just trying to get through day by day, and it's been really difficult, but I'm trying. So, and I feel like anxiety saying all of this. So, I'm just going to get my lippy and then I need to go because I need to eat. Okay, and then for lips, sorry. I'm going to use MAC's Kind of Sexy matte lipstick. I haven't used this one in a while. Do I want something that peachy? Yeah, that's pretty. This one, Velvet Teddy and Honey Love were like my 3 go-tos for a long time. Let me just see how Velvet Teddy looks. I don't know if I want something that peachy. I don't know. That one's too pink. I think I'm gonna go with the PG one. I didn't know that Velvet Teddy became popular because of Kylie Jenner. I can't believe I just found that out like a month ago. I'm like, Velvet Teddy was like my all-time favorite color from MAC for like a long time. And I actually didn't know it was because of Kylie Jenner why it was so damn popular. I feel like it's like kind of losing some of its like formula. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like kind of not performing the same as it used to. It feels a little bit sticky. It still smells good though. Why is this giving me anxiety right now? Okay, I think that's good. Okay, guys, so this is the look. Excuse me. So here's the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to, like, you know, just tell you guys, like, I don't want you guys to ask me, like, why I'm so down. I just really wanted to lay it out for you guys and tell you guys what's have been, like, going on. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I appreciate you watching my videos. I really do. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at cbw819. And also check out my Poshmark. Honestly, I haven't made any sales on my Poshmark in like a week or almost 2 weeks because I keep on getting people that have been giving me, honestly, really, really cheap offers. That I've just like, I'm like, I can't take anything for under $10 because then I don't make any money from it. And I'm not actually getting all the money that I charge for it. I'm getting like $5 less than I'm actually am getting for the list that comes from the listing price, because Poshmark takes like a 5 to 10% commission or something. So if I list something at $13 or $12, I'm only making like $8 or $9 off of it. If I sell like multiples of something and someone buys more than 1 or 2 things from me, then it's worth it. I will negotiate a price with them. But like somebody offered me $10 for my 2 Tarte palettes that I listed together. I'm like, I'm not selling it for $10. And then someone else offered me like $10 for like the Kat Von D bundle that I listed, and I'm like, you realize like don't make, and like I can't like directly message the person about it. I can only like counter offer. So yeah, but I'm not gonna bitch about that right now. I don't really care. I have been doing pretty well with it. So yeah, that's it. So I love you guys. I don't know how much I am going to be filming. I just wanted to give you guys an update just in case if you don't see that many videos from me. I think I'm only going to try and film my favorites video later this week. And then I do kind of want to film a new products video because I didn't go crazy. I only got like a couple new things from Sephora that I've been wanting for a while. I only got like 5 things. I did order the new Pat McGrath blushes and I got a couple of shades of those. So I do want to use that in a video at some point. And I also got a new face product, like a new tinted moisturizer that I want to use in a video too. So yeah, I'm going to go. Bye, guys. And yeah, thank you for watching.